Got a question coming in here, and it's a super chat. What's the status of the 49ers super running back Mostert's injury?
He's not going to play this week, so don't start him on your fantasy team. I don't think he is, at least. Have we gotten official word from the 49ers? I don't think that we have, so don't start Raheem Mostert this week. I don't think that is a good play at all.
NFL Daily coming at you here. Fantasy football mailbag. This one's coming in from Hilton Movers. I have Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde. Who should I start? So the reason why Hilton Movers is asking this question, Harrison, Chris Carson, unlikely to play in Week 4, dealing with, a knee sprain. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Tristan Hill did a little bit of an alligator rule. Now, there was a report that said he had a chance to play. I'd be very surprised. And if I'm Seattle, you don't need to play Chris Carson to beat the Miami Dolphins. So go out, get Carlos Hyde if he's still on your waiver wire. And should you start him? Yeah, I would. I would start Carlos Hyde this week as a flex, maybe if it's an RB2. Dolphins ranked 22nd in the NFL against fantasy running backs. He had over 1,000 rushing yards last year, and I anticipate them to just blow him out.
When Hyde gets touches, he's pretty effective. So I think, this could be a 17-18 carry game for him. I like his play this week.
Next question coming in from Jim78. Jim, should I start Justin Jefferson? I lost Chris Godwin. Well, we'll get to the Chris Godwin news in just a second, but should you start Justin Jefferson? Honestly, yeah, I am all about this. If you need him as a flex wide receiver 3, get him in there. The young rookie receiver out of LSU looked absolutely phenomenal last week, had a breakout game. The Texans, they ranked 12th in fantasy points against, but it's the Vikings 0-3, and then the Texans 0-3. Somebody's got to win.
Yeah, and look, Adam Thielen has been getting focused a lot, so Justin Jefferson finally stepped up here, 7 for 175 against the Titans. I think Tennessee's better than Houston, so I like that play this week for your fantasy team. I think he's a solid wide receiver 3 type of play.
Also, the head coach has escaped me, Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer.
He also went on to say that he thinks that this team needs to start throwing the football more. Maybe they'll end up doing that, but also if you're giving up 31 points, that's not going to help. In regards to Chris Godwin, since you lost him, he is going to miss Week 4, and he's also, unfortunately, going to miss Week 5 because that game is on Thursday Night Football. Now, that's not good news, but what is good news is hopefully if he rests, he's going to be fully healthy and ready to rock and roll. Justin Jefferson should be a good replacement the next 2 weeks. Continue to get your questions in here using hashtag fantasy, or you can go ahead and super chat. And if you love fantasy football, Harrison and I want to be able to make more fantasy football videos, so please hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 200,000 subs. We are so close to 193K, so please go ahead, hit the sub button. If you want to join us for our live shows, we normally go live Monday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. We went a little bit earlier today because of the NBA Finals. Yes, we also cover NBA here, so go ahead and hit that big red button. Jeff Rogers, my man, should I flex Darrell Henderson or Devin Singletary? Well, actually, this is a pretty good problem to have, Harrison. Who would you go with, Henderson or Singletary?
I love what I saw from Henderson this week.
He looks good.
He got touches, and he took advantage of them, and you like him this week too.
I actually like both Singletary and Henderson as my starts, and I don't want to give you guys the running backs that are obvious starts, right? Like Alvin Kamara, you're going to start him every week.
Yeah.
So with Henderson, though, he looked great. The Giants, they're going to run all over him. And then Singletary, going up against the Raiders. Now, the Raiders will have Nick Kwiatkowski this week, which will help their run defense, but they got absolutely gashed by Rex Burkhead. Start Singletary, start Henderson, but if I had to pick just one, I'd end up going with Henderson over Devin Singletary. Ray, what up, my man? Who should I start, DK or Michael Gallup?
I think at this point it's DK until further notice. By the way, the fact that you're having to choose there means your receiver situation is great. I actually had this dilemma last week. I have both these guys as well. DK's a must-play right now, though.
I mean,
you play him every
DK,
week.
that offense is just so much fun to watch.
Deep ball threat.
If he wouldn't have, gotten the ball punched out, I think this would have been a much easier decision for you. I'm going with DK. All right, the Gerard Alger, how much production do you think David Montgomery will have now that Cohen is out? Interesting little update. The Bears are actually working out Lamar Miller. So that's a pretty interesting news there. But with Tariq Cohen, he is out for the season with ACL.
Yep.
David Montgomery is going to be the main running back there. Their biggest, I guess, thing that hurts him is the offense.
Yeah, I did a Tariq Cohen replacements video. You can check that out on our Bears channel, youtube.com/BearsNow. I do think Montgomery will get more touches. They activated Artavis Pierce off the practice squad. Maybe he gets involved. Maybe Ryan Nall gets involved. I do think Cordell Patterson will be in the mix more as well. But David Montgomery is going to get more opportunities moving forward. I think he will have plenty of touches. I don't think he'll lead fantasy running backs in points this week, Mitch, but I still think he's a really good play.
So which running back will score the most fantasy points this week? Let us know. I almost have to continue to go with Alvin Kamara because he is the entire offense for the Saints, and as long as Michael Thomas is out, it's hard to go away from Kamara. Yeah. Do you have anybody else would you throw in the mix there? Let us know. We'll give some shout-outs.
Fun fact, if you're in a PPR league, Kamara would be the number 4 receiver through 3 weeks so far. Yeah, it's going to be Kamara. He's been really, really good.
I'm seeing some Kamaras thrown in there as well. Yeah, I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara. Matthew, what up, my man? Should I start Josh Allen or Russell Wilson? It's a good problem to have, and even though that Josh Allen is listed as one of my starts this week, and even though the Raiders have actually been okay, I guess, against quarterbacks for fantasy, it's just because Cam Newton didn't have to throw on him last week. You start Russell Wilson.
Remind me who's Seattle playing just for...
It doesn't even matter.
I know, but it does potentially because the Raiders' defense
The Dolphins.
Is bad. Yeah, it's Russell Wilson still.
Russell Wilson has 14 passing touchdowns in the first 3 games. He is the MVP. I mean, you start Russell Wilson.
What you should do is trade Josh Allen. See if you can get something for him because you don't need 2 top 5 fantasy quarterbacks.
Very, very true. All right, TNT Gaming. Hopefully this question's booming. Should I put in Keenan Allen or Will Fuller or OBJ?
Keenan Allen's picked it up with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I think he's a must-play right now. I don't like OBJ. If you have him, I'd see if you can trade him.
So actually, OBJ for this week is another wide receiver that I would at least consider starting because of the game. I expect a high-scoring game between the Browns and the Cowboys. The Cowboys secondary, not all there, and we saw last week that multiple wide receivers can score big-time points. So if you have OBJ, I'd probably put him in as a wide receiver too. If you have him as a flex, throw him in there. But Keenan Allen, Will Fuller, OBJ, out of all 3 of those names, I'm still going to go with Allen. Raptor Yopi, should I start Mike Williams over Devontae Parker?
Nope.
I'm still going to go with Parker. I anticipate them being behind in Seattle. I anticipate Jamal Adams playing this week, but he won't be 100% healthy. So for me, I'm going to go with Parker.
Fitzpatrick, the king of garbage time. Play Devontae Parker.
True. All right, man. What up, Ray? I have Hopkins, Julio, and DK, and Gallup, 8-man league.
Wow.
Before I saw 8-man league, I was like, wow, that is insane.
That's still pretty impressive to have
it's
Julio,
still insane.
Hopkins, and Metcalf.
I don't know if you're just bragging or if this is a question or not, but if I had
Power rank them.
I mean, it's Hopkins.
I think it's DK2.
I'd probably put DK2, Julio at 3, and Gallup.
I agree.
But I don't know if Julio's going to end up going this week. I'll tell you what, I sure hope so because I have him in my fantasy leagues. And I also hope that you guys are staying safe, doing the right things. Make sure you get yourself an NFL face mask. Chatsports.com/stay safe. You can get a pack of 4 for $29.99. If you want the masks that the players are wearing, you can also get these as well. Chatsports.com/stay safe. The link, it is available in the comments. It's also in the description. These are the ones that I was talking about before, though, Harrison, with the ones that the players are wearing.
Yep.
These are really sick.
High-quality ones. You can get those available. You see a lot of the players, the coaches wearing these. All of these different masks and a whole bunch more available at that same link. It's in the comments. It's in the description. It's chatsports.com/stay safe. Some of these 2-packs are still on sale, by the way.
$13.99?
So $13.99. Take advantage of that deal while it still lasts. Chatsports.com/stay safe.
Matthew Allard, should I start the Bills or Saints defense? I'm going to go with the Bills just for the simple fact of, yes, like they don't turn the ball over. This is the Raiders, that is. But they're not going to have Henry Ruggs. You're not going to have Bryan Edwards. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's more likely to throw a pick 6 than Derek Carr.
Yep.
But he's also more likely to put up 20, 30 points than Derek Carr.
And they just beat the Cardinals. They got Kenny Galladay back.
Yeah,
start the Bills defense.
It's the Bills.
Horizons.
Oh, boy. Horizons.
Should I flex Will Fuller or Myles Gaskin?
Gaskin, out of nowhere, is the only Dolphins running back you can play. Howard, I know Howard has scored a few touchdowns, but I saw a stat. He's on pace for like 85 yards and 16 touchdowns on the season because they just hand it to him on the 1 yard line, but that's all he gets. I kind of like Gaskins.
I'm going to go with Will Fuller. If you need more points, the bigger opportunity for points is Will Fuller in a game where both teams are 0-3. You're going up against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
if you need like a safe floor where you might
points.
need like 10, I don't even know if he gets 10 though, because they're going to be losing that entire game. He has been used
throw
more.
it to him.
Yeah, it's
I don't know why Matt Breida's not being used, but they're not using him that much. So.
Very true. M and S. I have Tyreek, Allen Robinson, and Tyler Lockett, Devontae Parker, and Allen Lazard.
Four-man league.
Who should I start? I have a great matchups all over for my wide receivers, and Mitch, go Raiders. All right, how about this? You got to pick 3 out of those 5 names. Tyreek is an easy no-doubter.
I think Tyreek.
Tyler Lockett.
I think Tyreek and Lockett are locks.
I know Lazard is one of my starts, but I'm probably still going to end up going with an Allen Robinson, even over a Parker.
I'll probably go Robinson. He looked good with Foles, especially once he checked into the game, and obviously Foles is starting now. So probably those first 3 guys. Parker will probably get some garbage time, though. So, look, all those plays are good, by the way. But I think your first 3 there, that's the safe bet.
Raptors, should I trade Todd Gurley? Yes.
If you can get something for him, I don't know if you can.
Right now is the prime time to trade high or sell high on Gurley, who had a pretty solid game last week. But if this team starts shipping away some players because of Dan Quinn, I mean, they're going to lose to the Packers on Sunday Night Football. Not Sunday Night Football. They're going to lose to the Packers on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
They're going to go to 0-4. Dan Quinn could get fired. Things could change really, really quickly. And Gurley hasn't really looked like the Todd Gurley that I think we all loved since basically the end of 2018.
Yeah, he played fine last week. I think he had 5.5 yards a carry, but he's not a dominant guy anymore. He's just not.
TNT Gaming, Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton for the start.
Lamar.
I'm going to go Lamar.
It's Lamar. Look, forget the Chiefs game. That's a mental thing for the Ravens at this point. They just can't.
What was the crazy Lamar Jackson stat you said about his record against other teams?
Oh, he's 14-1 in the regular season against all other teams. 0-3 against the Chiefs now.
Mind-blowing.
I
but
mean,
yes.
So you play him unless he's playing Kansas City.
Go with Lamar Jackson and another guy. If you could potentially trade Cam Newton.
Sell high, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, is he going to give you more than he did a couple of weeks ago in Seattle? Probably not.
Got a super chat coming in here. I need to pick 3 wide receivers. So Marvin Jones, Keelan Cole, Mekhi Hardman, Preston Williams, T. Higgins.
Oh, boy. 20-man league?
Anthony
Good
Miller,
Lord.
Ayuk. So
Who's
3 of them.
I think
Marvin Jones.
I'd probably go Marvin Jones.
I'm actually also going to throw Mekhi Hardman.
I'll gamble on Hardman. He just had a big 4-catch, 81-yard.
I'll say no to Preston Williams. I'll say no to T. Higgins.
Maybe Ayuk because they're thin at receiver.
I might.
I mean, that's thin pickings there.
Yeah, I think whoever then you think could be the highest upside, but I might actually just go with your first 3 wide receivers. All right, speaking of Higgins and the Bengals, should I start David Johnson and A.J. Green or Carlos Hyde?
Remember when we were like, hey, maybe that trade wasn't so bad for Bill O'Brien? Because
right?
I don't, because the last 2 weeks have been a disaster.
I mean,
I still think it's – I don't even know.
A.J. Green for me is a sit, and he has not been able to work very well, and actually he is one of my sits this week. 29 targets, only 13 receptions, has just not looked good with Joe Burrow. But should I start David Johnson? I don't have a lot of confidence in tell you to do that. Sure, the matchup is juicy, but out of all 3 of those players, the one that I'm most confident in, it is Carlos Hyde, because I anticipate him playing over Chris Carson, and actually it's not even really all that close for me.
I'm being told this is the last question here, Mitch. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, should he trade for him?
Helaire, if you watch frickin' Monday Football. Oh, my God. I can't believe nobody told him. Helaire. It made me want to throw up.
I mean, it is a silent H, but you don't have to put 7 E's at the front. If you can, yes. You finally saw him catch the ball, by the way. 5 catches, 70 yards, ran for 64 more. He's really good. If you're thin at running back, maybe you have a lot of receivers. That's my situation right now. I need a second running back. Yeah, I mean, if you can go get him, go get him. I think he's going to continue to get touches.
I think he's a top 10 running back, especially in that offense.
Especially PPR, too.